Jai Hind students, I am RP Jharia, your chemistry teacher, and today we will study one of the topic of our electrochemistry, that is known as electrolytic cell and electrolysis first. Okay, so we will see here first of all about the electrolytic cell. Electrolytic cell. As you know very well, we have already studied about the electrochemical cell, and here once again we will divide our cell into two types. Okay, so first of all we will see here about the type of cell. On the basis of electrode process, we can divide our cell into two types. They are known as electrochemical cell, electrochemical cell, and other type of cell are known as electrolytic cell, electrolytic cell. Okay, we have already studied about the electrochemical cell. Electrochemical cells are those cells in which the chemical energy of the cell will change into electrical energy. Okay, so we can say here that the chemical energy will change into the electrical energy. The example of such type of cell are given, that is you can say they are generally, you can say here that either galvanic cell, or you can also give here the example of Daniell cell. Daniell cell. Okay, so these are the, you can say, electrochemical cells. Okay, now we have already studied about the electrochemical cell under the, you can say, topic electrochemical cells. Now here today we will see here that what are our electrolytic cells. So electrolytic cells are those cells in which the chemical reaction will take place on passing the electric current. So here when we will pass the electric current, then the chemical reaction will take place. One can easily say that the cell in which the electrical energy will change into the chemical energy are known as electrolytic cell. Okay, here some of the example of electrolytic cell are given. These cells are generally used for the preparation of some metal, extraction of some metals, and also for the production of some of the gases. Okay, they generally used in the electrolysis. So we will see here that what are electrolytic cell here now. So electrolytic cells are those cells in which electrical energy will change into the chemical energy. Okay, or in these type of cells the chemical reaction will take place on passing the electric current from external source. Now we will see after you can say lytic cell, we will see here about the process of electrolysis. Okay, so we will see here about the process of electrolysis. Here we all know very well, on passing the electric current from external source, generally chemical reaction takes place in electrolytic cells. Okay, so when we will take here a type of electrolytic cell. Suppose we are taking here a type of cell in which copper sulfate is present in this solution. Okay, or in the solution form, we are taking here the, you can say, concentrated solution of copper sulfate. This is our CuSO4 solution. Okay, we can take here concentrated or saturated solution of copper sulfate. This is saturated solution of copper sulfate, and we can dip here two electrodes of the, you can say, same copper metal. One will behave just like the, you can say, anode, and other will behave just like the cathode. Now in case of our electrolytic cell, we will see here that in case of electrolytic cell, generally we all know very well uh, the electrode on which the oxidation reaction will take place, that is known as anode. Okay, so in this cell we will see here that at anode what kind of reaction will take place. We will see here at anode, here you will find that copper metal which is present in solid state, that will, you can say, oxidize, and it will provide us the copper ions in aqueous state, and two electron will release here. So the electrode on which oxidation reaction will take place, that is known as anode. In any type of cell, either in case of, you can say, electrochemical cell, or in case of electrolytic cell, if oxidation reaction will take place at any electrode, that electrode will be our anode. And now we will see here, okay, at cathode what will happen here. At cathode the reduction reaction will take place. So at cathode, here we all know very well that the copper ions are present in this solution of copper sulfate. Okay, it will provide us the Cu2 positive ion and plus sulfate ion. Okay, so Cu2 positive ion and sulfate ions are present. When you will pass the electric current, on passing the electric current through the from the external source, generally the, you can say, reaction or chemical reaction will take place inside the cell. So at cathode what will happen here, copper ions will take electron and they will reduce into the copper metal. So here at the, you can say, cathode, the reduction reaction will take place. So at anode what kind of reaction will take place? You all know very well that at you can say anode, oxidation reaction will take place. Okay, oxidation reaction will take place, and at cathode reduction reaction will take place. Okay, in this particular case, so we can say that the electrode at which oxidation reaction will take place is known as anode, and the electrode at which the reduction reaction will take place is known as cathode. Okay, so here in this case these are, you can say, anode, this is anode, and at anode oxidation of copper is taking place, and at cathode the reduction of copper is taking place here. Okay, so this is, you can say, the electrolytic cell. Okay, after this cell we will see here that what is electrolysis. Okay, when we will pass the electric current in this type of cell, then what will happen? Generally you know very well that the particular type of you can say ions, generally positively charged ion will go towards the negatively charged electrode, and they will reduce there. And this type of, you can say, when this type of process will take place here, then they will reduce there, and that the movement of the copper ions, the movement of copper ions at particular electrode will take place, and they will produce there the copper metal. Similarly here from the other electrode, the copper metal atom will oxidize into copper ions, and this type of, you can say, production of copper ions and reduction of the copper ions will generally take place, and this movement of the ions for the production of the particular type of you can say atom or metal which will deposit at the electrode is known as electrolysis. So we can define here the, you can say, process of electrolysis or electrolysis as a process in which a particular type of either gas or any type of substance will liberate or deposit at particular electrode is known as electrolysis. Okay, so we can define here the electrolysis, the process the process in which the process in which some in which a substance will liberate or deposit at any electrode on passing electric current is known as electrolysis. Okay. Now we will see here that the process of electrolysis is first of all studied by Michael Faraday, and under this process he gave some laws. These laws are known as Faraday's laws of electrolysis. Okay, so we will see here about the Faraday's law of electrolysis now. Okay, by the process of electrolysis we can, you can say, get different type of metals which will, you can say, extract from their compound or salt. Okay, so we will see here now about the Faraday's law of electrolysis. Faraday's law of electrolysis. Faraday's laws of electrolysis. We will see here about the Faraday's law of electrolysis. We will see that there are two laws given by Faraday. They are known as Faraday's first law of electrolysis. Okay, so they are known as first law, Faraday's first law of electrolysis. First law of electrolysis. And second law is Faraday's second law of electrolysis. Faraday's second law of electrolysis. Okay. Now we will see here both these laws one by one. Okay. We will see here both these laws one by one. First of all, we will see here Faraday's first law of electrolysis. Okay. For understanding about the Faraday's first law of electrolysis, if we will see here an example of the sodium chloride, molten sodium chloride. So on taking this molten sodium chloride in a beaker or container, if we will take the molten sodium chloride, this is the molten sodium chloride which is, you can say, present in a container, and if we will dip two electrodes of a particular, you can say, either metal or graphite, and on, if we will pass the electric current, then what will happen here? On passing the electric current, generally you will find here that at a particular electrode sodium metal will deposit and chlorine gas will release. Okay, suppose we are, you can say, on passing the electric current, the W mass or weight of a substance is generally deposited at an electrode, then W will be, you can say, amount of or you can say mass of the substance which is liberated or deposited at electrode. And if this you can say W will be, which will be you can say deposit, and it will be directly proportional to the amount of, you can say, electricity passed or the amount of current passed. So this is, you can say, here we can now say here that what will be Faraday's first law of electrolysis, or what will be the statement of Faraday's first law of electrolysis. So according to this law, the amount of chemical reaction which will take place at any electrode will be on passing the electric current at that electrode will be directly proportional to the mass or weight of the substance generally deposited on that electrode. This is known as Faraday's first law of electrolysis. Okay, so we will see here that according to this law, we can write here the definition of this first law, Faraday's first law of electrolysis. So according to Faraday's first law of electrolysis, we can say here the amount of substance or chemical reaction. I am taking here the amount of chemical reaction, because here, why we are taking here chemical reaction, because a substance may be liberate or you can say release or deposit. That's why the amount of chemical reaction takes place takes place at an electrode, on passing electric current, on passing electric current will be directly proportional to the amount of current passed, okay, amount of current passed or amount of charge passed. So we can write here W will be directly proportional to Q here. This is our Faraday's first law of electrolysis. Now we will see here about the mathematical expression of this Faraday's first law of electrolysis. So according to you can say mathematical expression, as we know very well that W is directly proportional to Q. We will see here that W is directly proportional to Q here, okay, and we know very well that Q is equal to I into T. What is I? I is the current in ampere and T is the time, okay. If we will see here that if I is equal to 1 ampere, okay, if I is equal to 1 ampere and T is equal to 1 second, okay, so we will see here that W is you can say, we can write here W is equal to IT, and on you can say W is direct proportional to Q. If we will remove before putting these values, we can remove this proportionality sign. So if we will remove the proportionality sign, we can write here W is equal to ZQ, okay. On putting the value of you can say Q, that is equal to IT, what we will get here W is equal to ZIT, okay. And if we will see here that if we will put here I is equal to 1 ampere and T is equal to 1 second, we will get here W is equal to Z. So here we will get here what is Z. Z is known as proportionality constant. It is also known as chemical equivalent or electrochemical equivalent. So we can say here that what is the you can say definition of electrochemical equivalent or Z, okay. Here that electrochemical equivalent is the amount of you can say substance liberated when the you can say 1 ampere of the electric current is passed for 1 second on any electrode is known as you can say electrochemical equivalent, okay. Now we can easily get the electrochemical equivalent, or you can say by putting the value of I and T is equal to 1 ampere and 1 second, okay. Now after this you can say Faraday's first law of electrolysis, we will see here another law that is known as Faraday's second law of electrolysis, okay. So now we will see here second law of electrolysis. So now I am starting here Faraday's second law of electrolysis, okay. Faraday's second law of electrolysis. Here first of all we will see here about the statement of this law, okay. What is the statement of this law? So under statement of this law we can say here, when same quantity of electricity is passed through different electrolytic solutions which are connected in a series, then the weight of substance liberated at different electrodes will be directly proportional to the equivalent weight of those substances. Okay, so we can write here the statement as given here. When same when same quantity of electricity, when same quantity of electricity is passed through the solutions of different electrolytes connected in series, then the amount of substance, here amount means weight of substance liberated at electrodes will be directly proportional to the equivalent weight of those substance. Okay, so this is the, you can say, our statement. Once again we will see here, when same quantity of electricity is passed through the solutions of different electrolytes connected in series, then the amount of substance liberated at electrodes will be directly proportional to the equivalent weight of those substances. Okay, and now we will see here about the, you can say, what is equivalent weight first of all. Okay, so here I am taking here equivalent weight now. Okay, then we will see that how we can prove the Faraday's second law of electrolysis, okay, with the help of example. So I am taking here equivalent weight. Okay, equivalent weight means here Faraday suggested that the equivalent weight will be the number of moles of the substance liberated divided by the number of electron transfer in a electrolytic reaction. Okay, so we will see here equivalent weight will be equal to number of moles of substance liberated divided by the number of electron transferred, okay, electron transferred. So in this manner we can find out the equivalent weight of any, you can say, substance. Okay, now after it we will see here that how we can prove the Faraday's second law of electrolysis. So for proving the Faraday's second law of electrolysis, we will see here the example of two electrolytic cells. Okay, suppose there is two electrolytic cell. One is the you can say electrolytic cell of copper sulfate, and the other electrolytic cell of the, you can say, silver nitrate are connected in a series. Okay, here this is the solution of our copper sulfate. This is CuSO4 solution. We will see here that is CuSO4 solution. Okay, and here this is the solution of silver nitrate. Okay, it is the solution of silver nitrate, AgNO3 solution. Okay, AgNO3 solution. Now we will see here that we are putting here two rods of the, you can say, copper metal here, and we are putting here two rods of the silver metal here inside this silver nitrate solution, and we are connecting these two rods with each other in this manner, and both these rods are you can say connected by a source of electricity. हम यहाँ पर इसको इन दोनों rods को इलेक्ट्रिसिटी के सोर्स से कनेक्ट कर देते हैं. Okay, this is our, you can say, suppose battery. Okay, हम यहाँ पर इसको ले लेते हैं, this is the battery B. Okay, as you will pass the electric current, what will happen here? As you will pass the electric current here, then on passing the electric current, generally you will find here that suppose we are taking here Faraday's first law of electrolysis. So according to it, W1 will, you can say, amount of the substance will, you can say, liberate or deposit at you can say Q1 quantity of the electricity, and W2 in this you can say cell, W2 amount of the substance will liberate at the electrode on passing the Q2 amount of electricity. Okay, and now we will see here that if we will remove the proportionality sign, we can write here W1 is equal to Z1 Q1. Okay, and we can also write here that W2 will be equal to Z2 Q2. Okay, here. Now we all know very well that these are the proportionality constant Z1, Z2. They are known as chemical equivalence. Okay, and now if you will see here that we are passing the same quantity of electric current or electricity. Okay, हम क्योंकि same quantity of electricity pass कर रहे हैं, that's why we can write here that Q1 is equal to Q2 is equal to Q sub. Okay, so we will see here, suppose this is the equation number 1 and this is the equation number 2. Okay, so now on dividing equation number, we will write here equation number 1 and 2 as here before dividing them. We will write here W1 is equal to Z1 Q, and this is you can say equation number 3, and we can write here W2 is equal to Z2 Q. This is equation number 4. Okay, now on dividing equation number 3 by equation number 4. Okay, if we will divide equation number 3 from equation number 4, what we will get here, we will see here that on dividing the equation number you can say 3 from equation number 4, what we will get here, we will see here that on dividing the equation number you can say 3 from equation number 4, what we will get here, I am taking here. So if we will divide, we can write here W1 oblique W2. Okay, W1 oblique W2 will be equal to, you will write here that Z1 upon Z2. Okay, this is the, you can say, relationship which you will get here. Now as you know very well that Z is equal to E upon F. E is the equivalent weight and F is the, you can say, Faraday. So we will get here that it will provide us W1 upon W2 will be equal to, you will write here E1 oblique F and E2 oblique F upon F. Okay, so this F will cancel and we can write here that W1 upon W2 will be equal to E1 upon E2. Okay, in this manner you can write here that the amount of substance liberated at first electrode will be at the electrode of the first cell will be directly proportional to its equivalence weight E1. And similarly you can write here the amount of substance liberated at the second electrode of second cell will be the equivalent weight of their, you can say, their equivalent weight. So in this manner we will see here that these are the, you can say, particular type of relationship which are you can say, which we can find with the help of Faraday's second law of electrolysis. And now we will see here about the, you can say, second topic that is known as products of electrolysis. Okay, here. So we will see now about the products of electrolysis. Now we will see here about the products of electrolysis. Products of electrolysis. Now, for understanding about the products of electrolysis, first of all, we should have the knowledge that what are the products of electrolysis of an electrolytic cell. So, if we will see here that in case of any electrolytic cell, at the cathode and at the anode, some kind of substance liberated or deposited. Those substances which will liberate or deposit at the electrodes are known as products of electrolysis of the, you can say, electrolytic cell. So here now we will see about the products of electrolysis by taking some of the example of the, you can say, product produced by some electrolytes. Okay, so first of all we will see here the product of electrolysis of molten NaCl solution or molten NaCl. We are taking here molten NaCl. Molten NaCl. In case of molten NaCl, we all know very well, either we will take the aqueous solution of NaCl, or if we will take the only NaCl, you can say NaCl, molten NaCl. In that molten NaCl, you will find here NaCl will give us two types of ions, Na positive ion, and it will provide us the Cl negative ion. Okay, now what will be, you know very well, in an electrolytic cell there are two types of electrodes, anode and cathode. So what kind of reaction will take place at anode? We all know very well that at anode oxidation reaction takes place. So we will see here that what will be the, you can say, ion which will go at anode. So we will see here at anode you will find here that that ion will you can say proceed towards the anode in which excess of electron is present. Since you are looking here कि सोडियम के द्वारा एक इलेक्ट्रॉन ऑलरेडी प्रोवाइड कर दिया गया है, इसलिए ये एनोड की तरफ नहीं जाएगा. ठीक है, because its oxidation is not, further oxidation is not possible. So chloride ion will go towards the anode and it will convert into the, you can say, chlorine gas with the removal of one of the electron. Okay, and now after it means at the, you can say, anode we will get the chlorine gas as a product. Okay, and now at you can say cathode, what will be the, you can say, product of electrolysis? We will see here at cathode the reduction reaction will generally takes place. So here you are looking that the reduction of sodium ion or the ion having less number of electron, its reduction will take place at cathode. So we will see here that at cathode what kind of reaction will take place. Na plus will combine with one of the electron and it will provide us the sodium metal. Okay, so here at the cathode the product of electrolysis will be the sodium metal in this particular case. Okay, this is the case in which there is no, you can say, amount of any particular solvent is present. We are taking only the molten NaCl. That's why in this particular case chlorine gas and sodium gas, sodium metal will be only the products of electrolysis. Okay, and now we will see here, if we will take the aqueous solution of the sodium chloride, then what will be the products of electrolysis in that particular case? We will see in the next example of products of electrolysis of the aqueous solution of sodium chloride. Okay, so we will see here about the products of electrolysis of aqueous NaCl solution. Okay, we are taking here the second example, products of electrolysis of the, you can say, aqueous NaCl solution. Aqueous NaCl solution. Okay, we are taking here aqueous NaCl solution. In case of aqueous NaCl solution, if we will dissolve the aqueous NaCl solution, then what type of ion will produce by the dissociation of NaCl? We will get Na positive ion and Cl negative ion here. So our NaCl will dissociate into, you can say, Na positive ion and Cl negative ion. It will provide us the Na positive ion plus Cl negative ion. Similarly, with the you can say NaCl, water is also present, so it will also dissociate into two types of ions. Okay, it will also dissociate into H. You can say two types of ions. These ions will be H positive ion and OH negative ion. Okay. Now we will see here that what kind of reaction will take place at cathode and at anode. So for you can say getting the reaction at anode and cathode, we will see here first of all what kind of reaction will take place at cathode. So we will see here that at cathode, at cathode, as you know very well that the reduction reaction will take place, means the positively charged ion will reduce into the, you can say, metal atom or you can say gas. So here we will see that what are the positively charged ion here, sodium ion and hydrogen ions are there. So sodium ion, there are two possibility of the reduction of either sodium ion or hydrogen ion. So suppose the reduction of the sodium ion is taking place. So if it will reduce, it will provide us the sodium metal in solid state. And if you will see here hydrogen, so its reduction will take place and it will produce the hydrogen gas, okay, H2 gas in gas state. Here if you will see their standard electrode potential or electrode potential value. So electrode potential value of the sodium reduction potential of the sodium ion will be 2.71, okay, minus 2.71 volt. It is given in our textbook, okay. And you can say standard electrode potential or reduction potential of the hydrogen will be you can say 0.00 volt. Okay, here in case of the cathode, that reaction will compete over the other in which the standard reduction potential will be greater. So it means this reaction will proceed here. Okay, so we will get here the, you can say, reduction of hydrogen ion will take place in this particular electrode. But we will see here that water molecule, here water molecule will, you can say, reduce and it will produce here of H2, okay, and it will also provide us the OH negative ion with the, you can say, one of the electron. So here the reduction of the water molecule will take place by the, you can say, removal of hydrogen gas and hydroxide ion. Okay. Now we will see here that what kind of reaction will take place at the, you can say, our anode. So we will see here about the reaction which will take place at anode. Here we are looking here the reaction which will take place at anode. So at anode we will see here that what are the reaction which will take place. At anode you will find here that what are the ions which will, you can say, oxidize at anode. As we all know very well that at anode oxidation reaction will take place. तो एनोड पर ऑक्सीडेशन रिएक्शन होती है, तो हम लोग देखते हैं किस प्रकार के आयंस का ऑक्सीडेशन होगा. तो जनरली दोज आयन विल ऑक्सीडाइज इन विच इलेक्ट्रॉन्स आर प्रेजेंट, ओके, एंड दे कैन इजीली डोनेट देयर इलेक्ट्रॉन. सो यहाँ पर हियर क्लोराइड आयन विल, you can say, give one of the electron and it will convert into chlorine gas with the removal of one electron. Here we will see here similarly you will also find that OH negative ion is also there. So OH negative ion will provide us the, you can say, O2 gas and plus 4H positive ion, and plus it will also provide us the 4 electrons. Okay. Now we will see here that here in this particular case, this is the, you can say, product which will form here, and in this particular case you will see here that the oxygen gas will release here in this particular case. Now we will see here the value of the standard oxidation potential or electrode potential. The electrode potential of the Cl2, the electrode potential of the Cl2 will be, we will see here the electrode potential of the Cl2. हम Cl2 का electrode potential देखते हैं. That is given here. You can say here about, you can say, 1.36. It is 1.36. Okay, 36. It is given here 1.36 volt, and here the reduction potential of the electrode oxidation potential of this electrode or this you can say anode for the hydroxide ion will be 1.23 joule. This given in our textbook. Okay. On the basis of these two, you can say amount of the electrode potential of these two reactions, we can say that that reaction will proceed at the anode in which the electrode potential will be low. Okay, or the value of electrode potential will be small. Here in this particular case, इस केस में आप देख रहे हैं कि यहाँ पर इसकी वैल्यू कम है. But if you will see here that in this particular case, this is the you can say calculated value. Experimentally, it is found that the value of you can say electrode potential of the hydroxide ion is greater than the you can say electrode potential of the you can say chloride ion. Why it is so? It is due to the over potential of the oxygen. ऑक्सीजन के ओवर पोटेंशियल के कारण से ऐसा होता है. ठीक है. हाउ इट विल बी पॉसिबल, हम लोग देखते हैं कि ओवर पोटेंशियल एक नया टर्म हमें यहाँ पर देखने के लिए मिलता है. एक्चुअली ड्यू टू ओवर पोटेंशियल द ऑक्सीजन एटम wants to you can say convert into oxygen gas at the anode, but due to resistance of the you can say interface of the electrode of anode, generally oxygen gas cannot easily release. That's why excess amount of the voltage is required for the you can say removal of oxygen gas. Okay, so for the removal of oxygen gas, that excess of voltage which is required for the you can say production of oxygen is known as over potential. It means here the reaction which will proceed here will be the you can say oxidation of chloride ion. Okay, now what kind of you can say or product of electrolysis will produce in this whole you can say process, we will see here that in this particular case, if you will see here that in this particular case we can write here the net reaction as. Okay, so what will be the net reaction, we will see here. हम यहाँ पर अब यहाँ पर net reaction को लिखते हैं. Okay, so what will be the net reaction, we will see here. इसके लिए net reaction क्या होगी, उस net reaction के द्वारा हम we can find out the product of electrolysis. So in the net reaction NaCl will provide us the you can say Na positive ion and plus Cl negative ion. Similarly at anode what reaction will take place, we will see here. At anode हमारा anode पर क्या होगा, जो क्लोराइड आयन है ये प्रोवाइड करेगा हमें हाफ Cl2 गैस और एक इलेक्ट्रॉन रिलीज होगा यहाँ पर. सिमिलरली अगर आप देखें तो जो आपका कैथोड पर रिएक्शन होगी तो वो क्या रिएक्शन होगी हम लोग देखेंगे एट कैथोड. एट कैथोड आप जानते हैं कि वाटर जो मॉलिक्यूल होगा, वाटर का मॉलिक्यूल ये इलेक्ट्रॉन ले करके और ये आपका हाइड्रोजन गैस बना लेगा. ठीक है, इट विल प्रोड्यूस हाफ H2 गैस एंड इसके अलावा ये बनाएगा आपका OH नेगेटिव आयन. ओके, अब if we will add all these equations, okay, यदि ये equation number 1 है, this is equation number 2 है, this is equation number 3. If we will add all these equations, we will get the products of electrolysis. तो यहाँ पर हम लोग देखते हैं कि हमें ऐड करने पर मिलता है NaCl एंड NaCl के साथ में आप देखते हैं कि इसमें H2O है, तो we can take here H2O. okay, और H2O हम लोग देखते हैं कि H2O कि NaCl के साथ में जो रिएक्शन है उसके बाद हमें जो मिलता है वो हम लोग देख सकते हैं यहाँ पर. तो वी विल सी हियर कि यहाँ पर इस क्लोराइड आयन से ये क्लोराइड आयन कैंसिल आउट हो जाता है. ठीक है, नंबर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन से नंबर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन से कैंसिल आउट हो जाते हैं. तो हम लोग यहाँ पर प्राप्त करते हैं Na+ इन एक्वस स्टेट और इसके अलावा आपको मिलेगा हाफ Cl2. ओके, एंड यू विल आल्सो गेट द हाफ H2 गैस हियर with the you can say OH negative ion. So these are the products of electrolysis which are you can say possible in case of आपका electrolysis of aqueous solution of sodium chloride. तो aqueous solution of sodium chloride के आपका देख सकते हैं कि product of electrolysis से ये product हमें मिलते हैं. ओके, In this manner, our, you can say, product of electrolysis is completed here. And now further about the, you can say, next unit we will start in the